Alright, so once you get the wires connected, then just feed everything through the hole in the box. That all fed through there. Now, before I snap it in place, I like to verify that everything's working, because once it's snapped in place, they're going to have to destroy the little box to get back to the wiring. So I like to make sure everything's working. Connect it to a 12-volt power supply here. And it's on and registering that. I don't know if you can see that, but just from me putting my fingers on it, it instantly starts going up. I mean, they're really sensitive and they react real fast, so that's why I like them. Alright, so let's go ahead and disconnect this and snap that into the housing. And bam, there it is, all snapped into the housing. Now I've taken this aluminum piece, cut a little notch, deburred it, and this is where my wiring is going to come through, right out through the bottom. Just like this. Get this thing snapped into its the little lip that it's located on, and get that snapped into there. And then go ahead and put the little mounting screws back into it. Hold the cover screws. Hold that on. Alright. Now, my cure for right now on the front, as hody as it might seem, is I'm just going to use a bit of electrical tape just to hold this thing on. Here's another little tip for you. I love using unibits to drill holes and stuff, especially pipes. Get a cleaner hole, and it doesn't try to rip through like a drill bit does. Just make sure that you get all the shavings back out of your pipe when you drill it, or you will find them in your top end. Alright, so we've got this housing ready to go. Give it another test here. I like to test along the way all the time just to make sure that something hasn't gone wrong. Yep, she's good. Now, I told you guys that I came up with kind of a unique way of powering these things. These little batteries right here are a great power source. I use them on a lot of things. My TRX is converted to have LED DC lighting on it, and I use one of these as the battery source on the thing, which if anybody's interested, I'll do a video of that. I actually did a DC conversion on it without doing any modifications to the stator, okay? So that makes it a lot easier for you to do if you don't have to do any mods to the stator to make it work with DC. But what I'm going to try, and see how well they work, is I found these little 12-volt batteries. And these things are real small. Now, I measured this to pull 74 milliamps. So I'm not sure how long these little A23s are going to last before this draws them dead. It starts at 12 volt. It said, and I actually told you before it was down to 9 volts, but it actually is down to 5 volts. So we'll give these a run. If they don't work, CJ's running one of these on his bike. I'm going to put these, I bought a bunch of these little batteries. I'm going to put these on my bike and Justin's bike and run them and just see how much time I get out of them. They were really inexpensive, so The other thing you could do though is if you do a DC conversion on your bike, you could just power the thing off the DC side of the bike. So that would be your other option. So now I'm going to show you how I go about mounting this to a plate. Now, this is the little pedestal that I've fabricated up that'll mount on Justin's triple clamps, and I've put the switch in it to turn the unit on and off. And a problem that I've had a lot with electronics over the years is degradation from vibration. The components in, especially if it's not something that I'm sure has been made to be in a bike, they just get shook apart, and after a while your electronics stop working. So how I cure it on stuff that's relatively small and lightweight like this: sticky back Velcro. This holds it very nicely in place, but the Velcro helps to isolate the component away from the vibration. And this works really good to keep things alive. Oops, that doesn't work so good to keep it alive. Keep things alive for a long time. So I'm going to go ahead and mount this up, and then we're going to finish up putting the batteries on it and wire it up to the bike. Alright, like I said, this will help to take the vibration out of it, and if you want to pull it off, like when you're in transport, if you're open, you know, like a not an enclosed trailer, if you're transporting on a flatbed or in the back of your truck, and you just peel it off and you're good to go. So now we're going to mount the batteries right on the back here. So I use the same mounting to hold the batteries onto the bottom, just some Velcro. Routed the wires, the negatives all up, run the positive through the switch, run some zip ties on it, get it up here, switch it on, and there we go. Now let's go move it over to the bike and mount it up. Alright, so just so you get an idea, this is where I put the hole in the pipe to put the sensor in. Alright, got all the wires mounted up. Be careful not to zip tie your temperature lead to or around your ignition wires. Here you can see I've got it zip tied to the throttle cable. I've had problems in the past with it picking up electromagnetic interference and getting some weird spike reading numbers, and as soon as you move it away from the ignition wires, then you don't have that problem anymore. Anyway, so here we are all mounted up on the handlebars. Flip the switch on and we're ready to go make some passes. Now, if you guys like this video and you want to see, maybe get some ideas on how I do set up a motor, what I'm looking for temperature, go ahead and like this video and please subscribe to the channel. And thank you a bunch. You guys have been subscribing and that helps me build the channel. So if you'd like to see some more videos and maybe know a little bit more about how I do some tuning, just like and subscribe and I'll make another video. Alright, you guys take care. Later.